Yeah. So we are going to see Tableau software. Why Tableau? I will answer these questions in Tableau today. So why Tableau, what Tableau, and how Tableau, and I will tell you some highlights what are there in Tableau. So to start with, and many people know this, and this is very basic thing. Tableau is a visualization software, strictly speaking, and apart from visualization, you can do a bit of reporting or querying, all those things. But strictly speaking, it's a visualization tool. And so I'll tell you why visualization is different from data, analyzing data and all those things. And before that, apart from visualization, as I told you, we can write queries in Tableau. I mean, if you want, but there is no absolutely, there is no need for coding in Tableau. And apart from that, you can do a reporting also in Tableau, and you can analyze your data. So, you can integrate with tools like R, and you can analyze your data. So, and apart from that, then one more important thing is compared to any traditional tools like Vivo, Cognos, or such things, such traditional reporting tools, where you'll just pull out the report what client asked for and you just submit the report to client. Whereas in Tableau, it's not just pulling out data and submitting it to client. It's that you can explore the data to next level. For example, you are reporting out some sales, and somewhere in the sales there is sales decreasing there, or sales is going down at some point for some particular dimension or such things. But when you want to go to next level and see why for that particular dimension and which region, which time period the sales is less, so some reporting tools will not allow that to do. Whereas in Tableau you can do that using, you can explore it. That means you can place multiple worksheets in a single dashboard and you can explore to a lowest level of the data. So that is what here. So known question versus unknown question. You can answer all those questions whatever client has, so that he can analyze his information and take decisions on it. And brief intro about Tableau's history. It's been a long time Tableau. They were researching on VSQL. So the research started somewhere 97, and it was VSQL research. It's not Tableau research. Okay, it is a VSQL research. VSQL stands for Visualization Query Language here. But visualization query language is not a language like SQL. You don't write it, you don't see it, you don't feel it. VSQL is a server processing Tableau. So coming to history, so VSQL research started somewhere around 97. It took them almost some 7-8 years to develop visualizations of VSQL. So they were successful in 2004, and that's when they implemented Tableau into market. But the only problem was, unfortunately, Tableau tool was horrible. The initial versions were horrible, and again it took them another 7-8 years for them to pick up in the market. So in 2013 April they released 8 version. Unless and until 8 version was released, Tableau was performing horrible in the market. So with 8, 8.1, 8.3, so those versions they picked up in the market, and currently from last 6 months or 1 year, Tableau is leading in the market. Okay, and I will tell you exact reasons why it's leading in the market in next few slides. Okay, now, so I told you, right? So there is a difference between data and visualization. If you see the data, if you pull out the report like this using any traditional reporting tools, so you'll be seeing like this, right? Your Excel sheet or PDF, so whatever you see, thousands of rows will be displayed there, and whenever client want to analyze the data, you need to go line by line. That means he is putting in a lot of effort there, and he need to use his brain to understand or to analyze his data. Okay, so when he puts that effort, nobody likes to put an effort to understand his own data, right? So nobody likes that. So with traditional reporting tools, or when you are trying to develop reports like this, you will be forcing client to do that. But whereas you see a chart like this, right? You see the legend here. Based on the legend, you can identify the lines here. For example, the green stands for quantity. So based on quantity here, quantity was almost stagnant overall for 4 years or 5 years, whereas sales was bit increasing here. 2013 there was increase in sales, right? So 2013, and there was increase in sales again in 2014 also, right? So sales was slowly increasing, and at the same time profit was also increasing, right? Though the quantity remains same, right? We can take such decisions based on charts or visualizations. Okay, whereas, and apart from this, it's not only this, you can add trend lines to any charts. So I'll just show you like how you can extend those analysis and how it will help client to take decisions. See this, right? Now I'll add a second measure here. See that? Added sales now. Okay. So you're observing it. So it's as simple as that. I'm just double clicking on it and just selecting some options, and your charts keeps on changing here, and your legend is here, right? It's that simple. It's really that simple in Tableau. And when you do such things, if you want to analyze that, okay, you come here and set trend lines. It shows whether it's increasing or not increasing. The middle line is linear line, and other lines are just hyperbolic and parabolic lines. So to keep it simple, and you can see the formulas here by placing the cursor on the lines. So these lines are called as trend lines in Tableau. It will help you to analyze the trend, whether sales is increasing or decreasing such trends. Okay. So you might be seeing movie trends or design trends, right? So similar to that, here sales is increasing. It's linear, right? Right. Similarly, profit is almost stagnant, but it's increasing now and then. So such analysis you can do using Tableau. Okay. So that is difference between data and visualization. It will help you take decisions very fast on fingertips. Okay. There is no need of putting any effort, okay, or big brains in Tableau, in understanding visualizations in Tableau. Okay. So that's why Tableau is called as a no-brainer tool. So you need not be a great developer, or you need not be a great brainy to develop those visualizations or understand those visualizations. Then it's easy. Okay, that's enough. And why Tableau? Okay, so why only Tableau? Of course, I mean, when using any visualization tool, you can develop visualizations. But why only Tableau compared to any other visualization tools like ClickView, Spotfire, those tools? Why only Tableau? Here I have some features which tells why only Tableau. It's fast. This is not a subjective statement here. I am not saying it's just subjective statement like my reporting tool is fast, my visualization tool is fast. No, it's not that. So Tableau is fast, and I have a very good reason for it. Next slide we will see that. And we have in-memory concept in Tableau, that's why it's fast. And cost effective, when you install in your organization Tableau desktop and Tableau server, you will get to know that Tableau provides two more options to install it at very cost effective range. That is, one is user based and the other is core based license. So Tableau will provide such options to reduce the cost, overall cost of the organization. And everyone here is, what I mean by everyone here is, everyone in the sense, it's not only developers. It's not only developers. I mean, developers, I mean, they are techie guys. They can develop any visualizations, and developing visualizations is not a big deal for them. So, because they know how to write SQL queries and all those things. Whereas, your client will be a layman, right? He will not understand the technical knowledge. But he will be good with English. That's more than enough to develop visualizations in Tableau. So, it's not only developers. Anybody can create visualizations in Tableau. So you might have observed it, right? I have developed a visualization like this, right? I just double click on it. You see that chart comes up. I'm just double clicking on measures and dimensions, and your chart is ready, right? It's as simple as that. Anybody can create basic visualizations in Tableau, and easy. And of course, I mean, if anybody can do it, it's easy, right? So, and security, there are 4 levels of authentication. When we see server in Tableau, I mean, during training, we'll know how security is implemented in Tableau. Okay, I will go in detail. And everywhere, it's not that you should have a Tableau software to go see Tableau visualizations. So after developing your visualizations, after developing your dashboards, after publishing them to server, you can export them as images, PDFs, and all those things, and you can give it to your friends, colleagues, or customers, so that they can see your visualizations without even having Tableau software. So that's everywhere. That means just internet connection. That's more than enough. And coming to here, I mean, don't forget this slide for your life. So as long as you're working as a Tableau developer, this is most needed. But of course, you don't write the code. And see, VSQL is heart and soul of Tableau. And don't forget that VSQL is heart and soul of Tableau. The Tableau is in current position right now only because of VSQL. If VSQL is not there, there is nothing called as Tableau. Okay, so VSQL is a server process which runs in the backend. So there is no coding in it. You will never see it. You will never feel it. You will not write any code to it, and you will not control it at all. VSQL is a backend server process, okay, in the Tableau. So what is this process does is, for example, you are submitting a request, report or visualization, whatever it is, you are submitting a request. So that means you are running it. As soon as you start running it, generally in traditional tools, there will be a data adapter. So this report will go to data adapter, and data adapter will convert your visualizations or any report into SQL, and that SQL, it will go and hit the database, and it will pull out your data and it will present in report format, right? Whereas in visual interpreter is the difference. So what visual interpreter does is, it will convert your data into visualizations. So that's why Tableau is just drag and drop tool. So whatever you drag and drop, Tableau tries to understand it and it tries to convert that data into visualizations. So that's why Tableau is such an easy tool and easy drag and drop tool. So this is very important. Visual is heart and soul of Tableau. Okay. And in next few slides, I will be going to, taking you through some highlights in Tableau. Why Tableau is fast, I told you, right? I'll give an explanation for it. And this is my explanation. So direct connect to fast databases is always there. You can connect using any reporting tool or any ETL tool or any SQL editor or such things. You will connect to databases directly. That's what everyone does. And we use, some reporting tools use data adapters and all those things. Apart from that, here we have in-memory concept in Tableau. That means you can extract your data from database and you can keep it in your local machine or in your server. If you have a server, if you're working for an organization, so that whenever you run your visualizations, it will be very fast. And you see performance will be drastically improving. So if you want to see real time, see it in real time, when we start the training, this is your first class. So in-memory concept. So you can extract data and you can keep it in your local machines. Okay, that's most important. And other important feature in Tableau is data blending. So data blending is connecting two different data sources. For example, one data source can be Oracle and other data source can be Teradata, or one can be Teradata and other can be Excel or Notepad, such things. So those two data sources, you can combine them. It's not join, it's combining them or merging them and displaying the visualization at aggregate level. Okay. So that's what is called as data blending in Tableau. This is just a Tableau data blending architecture. So apart from that, nothing else. So you can combine data from two different data sources. Okay, it's just combination, it's not join. And you can display the visualization with aggregated data. So that is data blending. And of course, some other reporting tools also provide this concept, but performance is all the difference when you compare to other visualization tools. Okay. So whatever you do, whatever you go, whatever developments comes in our technology, wherever you go, basics are basics. So this is our basics. That's where data warehousing started. So next 3 slides, I will be telling you where Tableau sits on our data warehouse. So where it is placed in this whole architecture. So this is a very basic thing. This picture you might have seen some 10 years or 15 years back in the market. So it was there and it will be there forever. So this is our day-to-day operations data here. And using ETL tools or Informatica data stage, such things, we'll be creating our data warehouse, right? So, and on this data warehouse or reporting or visualization sits on it, right? So that is basic architecture of data warehouse. And here I mentioned tools on it. So this is where Tableau sits. That's where visualization or reporting happens. And there are other reporting tools, right? MicroStrategy, ClickView, Spotfire, all those things. And this current generation or latest one. So why I say current generation is most of our data is not structured data, it's unstructured data. You see, in Facebook, Twitter, whatever you take the social network, everything is happening in the WhatsApp or Facebook or such things. Product launches, or press releases, any information. So even Prime Minister is using Twitter. So all these things is there in social network, all this information. Whereas all this information is not structured, it's totally unstructured data. So that's why this Hadoop, SAP HANA, all these things came into picture to modify this unstructured data and store it properly and retrieve it. So these are the latest generation tools, Hadoop, HDFS system, all those things. So this is where Tableau sits, reporting and visualization. So Tableau sits on your data warehouse. So this is where it sits. And coming to products here, there are 4 products in Tableau. One is Tableau Desktop. That's the place where developers will do their development. I mean, create their own visualizations and create dashboards and publish them to server. So Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server are commercial products. You need to buy them if you are working for an organization, and every organization need to buy it if they want to use Tableau. And Tableau Reader is absolutely free. Okay, you need not buy it anywhere or any place. Tableau Reader is free. It's just a reader. It will help you to go through your visualizations. Apart from that, nothing else. You can't create anything there. Tableau Public is similar to Tableau Server. All those small businesses or organizations who can't afford server, so they will go for Tableau Public. Tableau Public is maintained by Tableau organization itself, and it's a cloud machine. So cloud machine means the size can vary. So as of now, Tableau Public is, it can store 1 million dashboards. 1 million dashboards. Okay, and it's free. But the only problem with Tableau Public is security will be a bit less. Okay. So as I told you, Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server are commercial products. And all the data sources which I mentioned here, so you can connect to them. Not only this, any data source. Tableau can connect to any data source on this earth. Okay. And as I told you, you don't need Tableau software to view any visualizations. Okay. So you can develop your visualizations and you can distribute it using PDFs, Excel, images, or anything. Okay. Through mails or such things, you can send to your customers or friends, and they can go through those visualizations. Apart from that, so Tableau Reader is free and offline, so you don't need you need not pay anything for it. And Tableau Server, you need to buy it. It's if you take core-based license, it will be somewhere around $50,000. Okay, so if you can't afford it, you can use Tableau Public. And here, I have shown you some scenarios, right? All I'm using is 8.3 version. Tableau started with 1 and it went on up to 8.3, and the 8 version was released in 2013, as I told you. So that 2013 April, and we have almost some Tableau defined charts are almost 24 here. So developing any chart, as I told you, it's very easy, like this. Okay, this is called a show me here. Okay, so you can connect to any database and you can create charts like this. It's that simple. Okay, and if you want to label, see in the label, you can just drag and drop in label like this. Okay, and it's glossy, it's easy to develop visualizations, and it's easy to understand. All those things are there, but don't forget that Tableau is a visualization software. It's easy doesn't mean that it will provide you every solution in this earth. For example, it's not a comprehensive BI solution. Comprehensive means it will not provide you end-to-end solutions in BI. For example, if you want to analyze at a very complex level, you need to integrate with R. Unless and until you integrate with R, you can't see those all linear formulas and all those things, right? Statistical formulas. So to analyze, you need to integrate Tableau with R. So those drawbacks are always there. I mean, if you try to compare, so you find more drawbacks. Otherwise, if you understand what Tableau is meant for, so Tableau is meant for visualizations. It's not meant for anything else. For example, you are reporting out some million rows. You better go and use some other reporting tool rather than Tableau, because Tableau is meant for visualizations. It will help you understand your data properly. It will help you to take decisions. Whereas when you try to pull out some 1 million rows or such things, Tableau will get hanged and it will not help you. Okay. So these are some drawbacks I mentioned here. So you not really dig into it, because when you compare with other reporting tools, these things will come up. Otherwise, that's fine. Tableau is a very good visualization tool. So if you need to install Tableau, okay, if you need to install Tableau, these are basic requirements, and these are basic requirements. That means if you are going to install Tableau server on your system, you need at least 2 GB of RAM. But frankly speaking, you need 4 GB of RAM at least, because if it's 2 GB RAM, it will get stuck. Your system will get stuck and it will perform very slowly unless and until you remove Tableau server from your system. Okay, and you will not install server because you can use Tableau public. Okay, that is always there. Okay. So during the course, during the training, I'll be taking you through different types of charts, not only 24 which are displayed here, manually created, manually developed charts like waterfall charts, pivoted charts. So I'll be showing you all those charts, how to develop those charts, donut charts, all those charts, sparkle charts, donut charts, waterfall charts, control charts. So all these charts I will tell you. So how to develop those charts. And apart from that, I will tell you how to create an extract, and I'll be covering filters, different types of filters, and what are context filters and what is the difference between them. And I'll tell you why we use each and every chart. When developing charts is very easy, you would have already observed it, but you should know why to use, when to use which chart. So if you don't know when to use which chart, that means you are doing some mistake in your visualizations, because each chart has a specific purpose to it. And I will show you how to create dashboards and how to publish them in server, and I will tell you how to do a content admin role in server. Okay, and I will teach you how to do a admin also. Okay, so in server. Okay, and of course I will teach you story points also along with action filters. Okay, so any doubts?